welcome to Moms on Mics. I'm Joanne.
I'm Cash.
And I'm Sophia.
Okay, Sophia, how was your weekend? What happened to you today?
All right. So this morning, it was like 5:30 in the morning. I woke up to, you know how you have the like keypad on your door to put in a code to get into your house? Well, I was hearing
Okay.
beep, 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 beep over and over and over again. I'm like, what the
What
hell
the
is
fuck?
going on, right? I'm like, someone's trying to get in the house. So I pull up the camera on my phone and I see this kid there and he's literally trying to get into the house. He's trying the door, he's putting in the code.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, Randy, I'm like, somebody's trying to get in the house. And then my son, he kind of looked like my son, but not really. It was kind of half asleep. I'm like, is he home? Check to see if his car's there. And he looked out the window, was like, yeah, his car's there. He's home. So I ran downstairs to make sure my kid was here. And he was here. And I'm
Yeah.
looking at the camera and it's this kid and he's drunk and he's stumbling and he's lost and he got frustrated. He's sitting on my step.
Oh
And my husband comes running downstairs in his underwear
no.
with a bat.
I was gonna say, you checked your phone. My first instinct would have been like, give me a bat. Give me a knife. Give me a bat.
And I'm like, don't open the door because I didn't want this kid to get pummeled, right?
Right?
So
Or it could have
we
been a
just,
black-eyed kid.
yeah, right. So we just look because he looked no older than 18, right? Like
Yeah.
he was pretty young. And yeah, and then he eventually just stumbled off and hopefully he found his way home. I don't know, but
Oh my goodness.
yeah, my dogs were
Oh,
going crazy.
right?
All the kids were awake. They're like, what's going on?
That is crazy.
Yeah, never had that happen before, so.
And you're sure it wasn't one of the black-eyed kids? Do you know what those are?
No.
Maybe we'll save that for another podcast.
Oh my God.
They're creepy like alien or like something, and they're like kids, and they've got like black like saucer eyes, and they like come to the door and ask for you to let them in, and then yeah, it's crazy and
Oh
creepy. There's been a
wow.
few, whether you believe in like that kind of stuff or not, I
Yeah.
guess it's whether they're creepy, but I mean, if some black-eyed kid showed up at my door, I'd be like, no. I don't care if you're a normal kid, you got black eyes, you're out. Sorry. I am not being creeped out by that. Yeah. And if they come to your door and you let them in, bad shit happens. I will find the stories. It
I
yeah.
will never let anybody in my house. For a split second, I thought about opening the door and helping him home
Yeah.
because that's how I am. But my
Well, it's
husband's
the
like,
mom
what if he has a
instinct, right?
knife? Right, exactly. My husband's like, what if he has a knife? I'm like, I
We're
don't
like,
think
oh,
he
it's
has
just
a
a
knife.
child. It's fine. He needs a
Right?
mom.
Yeah, yeah. And he's like, no. He's like, we're not opening the door. I'm like, okay.
Crazy.
I've had people leave stuff in my backyard. Like they've taken off their shoes and their hats and they put it nicely at my door and then they take off somewhere.
What?
That's weird.
Like I've had to call the non-emergency line, but even coming
That's
into our
creepy.
community, it tells you lock your doors by 9 p.m.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
It does. They have a sign that tells you lock your
Oh
doors by
my
9
God.
p.m.
Oh my God. That's creepy. Okay, I have something to tell you, and I'll just do the little short one. I got ID'd buying Malibu.
Buy a Malibu?
Buying Malibu.
Oh,
Like I was at the
buying
liquor
a
store.
Malibu.
Yep. And I was like buying the big Malibu, and I do not, my husband's like, was he blind? I'm like, it is possible. His eyesight might have not have been that great, but I will take it. My 46-year-old ass got ID'd buying Malibu. Woohoo!
Well, that's pretty cool.
Right?
That's pretty cool.
I was
Yeah.
like, tell the world.
I would love to be ID'd.
Me too.
I mean,
love it when
honestly,
they ID me.
he could have been stoned or drunk or
Yeah.
had really bad eyesight because I'm well aware I do not look like I'm under 25. But I was like, I will take it. Maybe he was just trying to make me feel better. I don't know. It was great. I'll take it. It was a good time. Okay. Well, now everyone is nice and happy. We're gonna crush that. Because this episode, we are talking about the 1976 school bus kidnapping in Chowchilla, California. On July 15th, 1976, the community of Chowchilla would be shaken to its core by a crime that would transfix the nation and affect many people in the quiet farming community, with its population at the time of 5,000 people. So that's pretty small, hey? That's smaller than Okotoks?
Is
How
it?
many people
I don't
live in
know. I was
Okotoks?
asking. Did I not go up high enough at the end? That's smaller than Okotoks?
Let me see.
Because
I don't even
if
know how many is in Okotoks.
I don't know, watch it be like 30,000 or something crazy.
Oh, it is actually 33,000.
Oh no!
Okotoks has a population of 33,000 in
Okay.
2024.
Oh wow. So yeah.
So,
So 5,000 people, that's really small then.
yeah.
I love how my brain just is like Okotoks. That's smaller than Calgary. Okay, well, 5,000 people were in this town, so that it sets how small the town was, I think, for this what happened.
Right.
Okay, so at 4 p.m., Ed Ray, who was then 55 years old, was driving a busload of 26 children aged 5 to 14 years on a country road in Madera County on their way back from a swim outing on the fairgrounds. As they drove down the narrow Avenue 21, a van was stopped with its hood up in the middle of the rural road and blocked the bus. Ed slowed down and stopped. He was a gentleman and a farmer, and it was the 70s, man. Like, that's what they did. So he started to offer help. But as quick as his words were coming out, the three men with pantyhose pulled over their heads jumped on the bus with their guns pointed at the children. They told Ed to go to the back of the bus. The men with guns hijacked the Dairyland Elementary School bus. The kidnappers then drove the bus into a dry riverbed and hid it in the trees. The children were then herded from the bus into two vans. They were forced to jump from the bus to the vans so that they would not leave any footprints behind as evidence.
Jennifer Brown Hyde, who was 9 at the time of the kidnapping, said, "And I felt like I was an animal going to the slaughterhouse." Inside the vans, the kidnappers had constructed makeshift jail cells by installing wood paneling and painting the windows. No one could see in or out. There was no air ventilation, food, water, or toilets. Jody Heffington, who was 10 at the time, remembered the moments before she got into the second van. "He held a shotgun to my stomach, and I had to stand there with this gun in my gut until that one van drove away, and they backed the second van up. It felt like forever. I thought he was going to shoot me. I actually did." Jody told 48 Hours. The kidnappers drove around for nearly 11 hours as the children suffered inside the sweltering, pitch-black vans. Finally, the vans stopped. The kidnappers had taken them to a rock quarry 100 miles away from Chowchilla in Livermore, California.
The bus driver, Ed Ray, and the children were taken out of the van one by one. The kidnappers asked each child his or her name, age, address, and phone number. They also took a piece of clothing or a belonging from each student, with only some construction lights illuminating the dark quarry. The kidnappers ordered the children and bus driver into what looked like a massive grave, a moving van hidden underground. It was buried into the earth. It was like a tomb. Carajo Labandiria said it was like a coffin. It was a giant coffin for all of us. They soon learned they were inside an old truck trailer and they had been buried 12 feet underground.
Ed did his best to calm the children as the minutes ticked away, turning to hours. And despite his own fears that the roof was going to collapse, the children's underground prison cell only had a few supplies: cereal, peanut butter, bread, and water. But there was only enough food to last one meal. Right next to the food was a makeshift toilet, a hole carved into a box, and there were several mattresses laid scattered on the floor. The ventilation system the kidnappers had put in failed quickly as the batteries for the fans died. Over the course of 16 hours, the giant coffin became a stench-filled cell. Children vomited amid the odors of urine and filth. The younger ones screamed and cried for their parents, and the food quickly vanished. There were times that we all thought we were dying, Kara Joe said. I promise God, if I survived this, I would be the best little girl. I'd be the best little girl my whole entire life.
I remember him making me feel safe, said Jody Medrano, who was 10 at the time. Medrano held a flashlight as the bus driver worked with older students to stack mattresses, force an opening, and remove the dirt covering the van so they could escape after 16 hours underground. She never left Ray's side during the ordeal. I remember he actually got onto me because I swore, said Medrano, now 46. Mr. Ray said, "You knocked that off. I thought whenever we get home, I will be in so much trouble." That's when I knew I was going home, because he made me have that hope.
As hope dwindled, the lone adult trapped underground with 26 children, bus driver Ed Ray, was reluctant to try to escape, fearful that someone was up there just waiting. But they had to try. They climbed on 2 mattresses the other children had stacked under it and pushed it. It barely budged. Ed and Michael took turns pushing up on the heavy manhole cover, even though the plate was covered with a massive truck battery and several feet of dirt. The bus driver and several of the older boys struggled to move it, but eventually, after hours of trying, they finally did. Ed digging up and out, Mike's digging, Jeff's digging, Robert's digging. Kara Jo Labaderia said she hid the entire time because she didn't know where the kidnappers were. Are they up there waiting for us? And are we going to get shot for coming out? Because all you saw with them were guns, but the bus driver and the others cleared an escape path, and the children, some climbing up on each other's shoulders, managed to flee. Their timing was impeccable. The kidnappers were asleep. Dirty and exhausted, they stumbled to find help. It had been 28 hours of terror. Ed Ray and all 26 children walked toward the rock quarry, and just above the quarry was a small building. There was a man up above. One man, and he knew exactly who we were before we even said anything, Kara Jo said. The gentleman came down and said, "This world's been looking for you." He knew exactly who we were.
Sorry, I was totally getting choked up as you were reading that. Okay, so police took school bus driver Ed Ray and the children to the closest place that could hold them all, which was the Santa Rita Rehabilitation Center, a local jail, where the children were given apples and soda and examined by doctors. Ed and the children were interviewed by police, and the children waited patiently, but they all just wanted to get home to their families. Finally, approximately 4 hours after escaping, the children boarded yet another bus, only this time the bus was heading back home to Chowchilla.
The children could not wait to be reunited with their families. Parents and families of the returning school children waited anxiously for the arrival of their children inside the Chowchilla police station on July 17, 1976. Immediately, police started to dig for clues at the scene of the crime, and investigators unearthed the truck trailer that had been the children's underground tomb, hoping they would find clues that would lead them to the kidnappers. It would take almost 2 weeks to track the kidnappers, but investigators finally arrested 24-year-old Frederick Newhall Woods, the son of the owner of the rock quarry where the kids were held. They also arrested his partner in a used car business, 24-year-old James Schoenfield, and James' younger brother Richard. All came from wealthy families who lived in San Francisco's nicest suburbs. Security guards had seen the 3 men digging in the quarry months before the kidnapping. When investigators executed a warrant to search the estate of Fred Wood's father, they found a treasure trove of evidence. One important piece was a document that says plan. It sets out how the kidnappers were going to commit the crime and what they would do if something went wrong. Another important piece of the evidence was a draft of a ransom note. The draft of the note says the kidnappers wanted $2.5 million, but their final plan was to ask for $5 million. They were never able to deliver their demand because when they tried to call, the phone lines were jammed as hundreds of reporters from all over the country fled to Chowchilla to get the story. Another piece of important evidence was a list of the kidnapped children's names written on the back of a Jack-in-a-Box wrapper. The kidnappers wrote them down as they pulled each child from the van. When later tested by investigators, they found fingerprints from 2 of the 3 kidnappers.
The kidnappers were all eventually sentenced to life with the possibility of parole. There were more than 60 parole hearings total for the three kidnappers. 36 years after the kidnapping, Richard Schoenfield was granted parole in June 2012. 3 years later, his brother James was paroled. Fred Woods, the last kidnapper in prison, was granted parole on August 17th, 2022, after 17 previous denials. Today, the bus kidnapping event is still remembered with strong emotion. A granite monument dedicated to the victims is located adjacent to the Chowchilla Police Department to mark where the victims were reunited with their families. On February 26, 2015, Edward Ray's birthday, the city of Chowchilla officially renamed and dedicated the city's largest park and home to many youth activities as Edward Ray Park. The city of Chowchilla proclaimed Wednesday, February 26 as Edward Ray Day for his bravery nearly 50 years ago. February 26, 1921 was Ray's birthday. He died on May 17th, 2012.
Can you imagine, like, this poor bus driver?
Right.
I'm having 6 kids all day trapped in your house is rough, man. And we've got toys, we've got food, we got all the shit, but it's hard. Now, 26 kids in like such a horrific situation. So they're all panicked, they're all freaking out, and they're aged from 5 to 14. So you've got such a wide range of how they're going to handle the situation and their hysteria and their like, I mean, I'd be freaking the fuck out. But he, from everything I read, he stayed really calm and he was just, what a guy. I can't imagine. And the boys that helped like dig their way out and stuff, heroes. To be at 14, to have the wherewithal to just know that, nope, this is what we've got to do. And to be digging above your head, I mean, that's hard anyway, right? And they're digging that, but they don't know if there's someone with a gun up there that's going to shoot them in the head. And they just did it anyway. And it's incredible. This whole story is just wow.
It sure is.
And these dipshit kidnappers, my God. They are so dumb. So, I mean, thankfully, they are so dumb. They came from rich families. What are you doing kidnapping 26 kids? 1 kid, 2 kids. No, let's do all 26 on the school bus. Like, what the
let's
fuck?
kidnap a whole school bus. That's bizarre to me.
Right?
Well, and the thing is they were supposed to have a plan if something went wrong. So clearly they didn't have a good enough plan.
They did not have a good plan. And I mean, the ventilation system failed within minutes of them being underground. What, like, they could have all died. There's not a lot of oxygen in those semi-trailers, right? Like, you've only got what's in the container itself. You don't get more. Like, if your ventilation system fails, that's all you've got. So now to exert themselves trying to get out, you're using up more oxygen. Someone was looking out for all of them that day. These fucking kidnappers, they're so dumb. So dumb. Like, let's write the names of everybody that we have kidnapped down. Let's keep items of their stuff. So that way when the cops come looking for us, it's all nice and neatly laid out for them. You morons! How dumb do you have to be? Like, I mean, their plan was stupid to begin with, and the carryout was dumb. Hide them on your parents' quarry? What the fuck? Like, you couldn't have even, like, found somewhere else. You fucking mama's boy. Like, you just know that they're mama's boys, right? Like, they don't know how to do anything for themselves.
Okay, how old were they when they did the kidnapping?
23, 24?
Yeah, just clueless, right?
Yeah,
Oh, baby.
24.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a 25-year-old. He better do a damn better kidnapping. Just kidding. He's not kidnapping anybody. But if he did, I would be so disappointed if this was his plan. My God. And let's just ask for $5 million. In the 70s. What is that now?
Oh, God.
I don't that's got to be double, right? Maybe not double. It's a lot. It's a lot more. In a town of 5,000, where do you think those people are getting $5 million from? And then all of a sudden, the kids get free and you're a baller. You've got all this money. Who do you think? They're going to be like, hey, wait a minute. We just gave $5 million to some kidnapping idiots. Now you're rolling around in new cars. Whoa, what a
Yeah.
coincidence. You fucking morons. God. Not that I, want them to have done a better job. I just think they're so stupid.
Yeah, well, that's 24 years old for you, right? Like,
Yeah. Come on, 24-year-olds. Do better.
Well, and it was also the 70s, so they were probably just outside doing their thing too. Parents didn't care.
Yeah. Well, they should have been working at the quarry.
Well, it was looking like that because they were
But I
digging
mean,
a hole.
here's the thing. You've got a quarry. If someone's digging a big giant hole where you're not expecting them to, wouldn't you question that? Like, what if your equipment fell into that hole? Didn't nobody question? They're big enough to bury this fucking semi-truck trailer. It had to have been a big hole. Nobody thought to say, hey, what hole are you digging over there? I don't know. Seems a little suspicious.
Well, someone
a
apparently
little
shot
stuff.
him.
Yeah, you know.
But way to go, Ed, Ray. I would not have been that calm. I'd be like, get me the fuck out of here.
Right?
It's smelly. Ew. I'm sorry. Not funny. It would smell so bad. The first kid that's like, I've got to poop. No, you don't. You hold that in. We are in the trailer. Fuck, I gotta cut that out. That sounds so mean. Oh, that's so bad. Oops. Now we know what my personality is. Thanks, Sticky. Okay, this is only a half an hour. This is not long enough for an episode. It's not even going to be half an hour. When I edit it, we're going to be at like 20 minutes.
It's okay. We can talk about ourselves.
Okay, do you want to hear my weekend?
Okay, let's talk about your weekend.
Do we want all the listeners? All the listeners, especially we have 7 listeners in Cambodia. What's up, Cambodia? That is just incredible. Like every time I get to look, and we've got listeners in France,
That's cool.
Mexico. I'm like, you guys rule. And they come back. It's not like they listened one time and then they're like, nope, I'm out of here. So, what's up?
That's super
Other
cool.
countries, right? We love you, listeners. Okay, so this was my weekend. You may not love me after this. So, we're here to decide that we're going to have a fire pit. And it's my very first fire pit of the year, believe it or not. All summer, I've been like, I need a fire pit. Haven't had one. So this weekend was it. And so we had invited some friends. And I was like, you know what? And I took myself to the lake paddleboarding. I was feeling great, super relaxed. I got my Malibu that I got ID'd for. Feeling good. Like, I'm going to have myself an edible. I'm going to have my special edible. That's 25%. So normally I do like a 2 or a 5. I'm like, not today. Not today. It's going to be a fun day for all. So I have my 25% edible. And then I'm like, what goes good with this is Malibu. So I have never actually made the Malibu with the juice. Someone else has made it for me. But I was like, you know what? I got this. It's got to be what, half and half? So I mix this jug with
Half and half?
Yep, because my brain goes, yeah, that seems about right. Malibu, by the way, 21% alcohol.
Girl.
How are you walking?
I know who not to make my drinks in the future.
Don't ask me. Never
Don't
ask
ask
me.
you.
So I'm like, and I'm already starting to feel a little high. I'm like, ooh, this one kicked in quickly. Let's just add some Malibu to that. So I'm drinking my Malibu and I'm like, I don't think I mixed it right because it doesn't taste like alcohol because I don't like that like really alcohol taste. You know what I mean? Like when it's really strong. But I'm like, this just tastes like juice. Oh well, I fucked up. I didn't make it strong enough. Whatever. Chugging my drink. I was so fucked up. So fucked up. But I'm like, which would have been funny if more of our friends would have shown up. So I don't know if Rob and Chantel listen. I hope they don't. If they do, I am so sorry. My good friends. I am sitting there and I'm like, they cannot know that I am high. Because I don't know why. I'm just like, they cannot. Oh no, maybe it was I didn't want my husband to know. But so I'm like, I'm just gonna act normal. Well, here's a little PSA. When you say to yourself, I need to act normal, you are not acting normal.
No,
You
you're
act
not.
anything but normal. So everything I did was like super over exaggerated. And I'm like, we're at a fire pit. You know what I need? I need a hot dog. So I'm making my hot dog. I put so much ketchup and mustard over this bun that I had to suck it out of the bun
Oh.
because it's
Ugh.
I'm like trying to get this out because it's like dripping everywhere. Anyway, so for me, one hot dog, plenty full, not high drunk me. I go, I'm gonna need another one of those hot dogs. So my husband and my son are looking at me and they're like, something's off because you don't ever eat two hot dogs. I'm like, I'm fine. Meanwhile, I am just chowing down on that, like, that Chick-a-Boom, whatever it's called, that popcorn. It's salty and sweet.
Yeah.
So not the Costco size bag that's like 8 feet tall, but like the normal, there's still a pretty big size, right? I am munching down on this, eating my hot dogs, and I'm like, hot dog number two, let's do it. Scarf that fucker down. And I'm like, you know what else we have? S'mores. I'm gonna make me some s'mores. Still eating this bag of popcorn. So, and all the while trying to act normal. So I guess they would ask me questions and I would respond in my head and then make some kind of weird grunting sound out loud. I'm like, oh no. And I didn't find this out till this morning that I just grunted at everybody. I'm like, fantastic. That's so me. So I make the s'more. And so I did like the celebration cookies. So it's like the cookie on the bottom and then the chocolate. Because I'm like, clever me. Then you don't have to have like a graham cracker and then chocolate and then marshmallows, which fall. So I'm like, this will be so much easier. So I roast my two marshmallows and put them between my cookies. And I'm like, that was too many marshmallows. Because it's all. So when I made my second one, I also did it with two marshmallows because my dumbass does not learn. Although, disappointingly, the second cookie that I put on top, I put the wrong way. I put chocolate up instead of chocolate down towards the marshmallow. I was like, this one doesn't taste the same. But the marshmallows falling out of everywhere. All the while, I am still munching this bag of popcorn. And apparently, my son was supposed, because I'm like, this morning, the bag is like pretty much empty. And I'm like, damn, we annihilated that bag of popcorn. He goes, oh, no, 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 Mom. You annihilated that bag of popcorn. I'm like, what? I'm like, there is no way. He's like, yeah, every time I tried to take a handful, you would turn that fucking bag around right back to you. And you're like, whoa. So I basically sat in front of my poor friends, stuffed my face with everything I could find, and grunted at them. All the while, every once in a while, I'd be like, I could feel my high just like taking me. I'm like, oh, here I go. And then I'm like, yoink, forward. No, act not high. Oh my God. So this morning, I'm like, I feel pretty good. I'm like, weird. I am not hungover. So I'm like, something like when I went to bed that I kind of remember going to bed. But normally I'm like up all night or I wake up a whole bunch, fucking nothing, man, until the morning. I'm like, ooh, sleep ever. Here's the key. Get high and drunk every night. But I wake up and I'm gonna wear my cute little bikini to go to the lake today. I put it on. I'm like, oh, hello, giant popcorn and hot dog belly. We're covering that up. We're not wearing a cute bikini because popcorn's still there. It was. Yep.
I don't know. How do you like not throw up? That would make me throw up. Just mixing edibles and alcohol and all that food, I would be barfing all night.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised I did it. Because after, like, I love food, but I am not a big person, so I cannot eat a lot of food. I mean, sometimes, don't get me wrong, I can just go to town. But normally hot dogs, it just feels like a lot. So like one hot dog and I'm like, I am so done. I mean, maybe a couple of hours later, I might be able to eat another one, but to follow one right after the other, never in my life have I. And it's not even the little tiny, like normal hot dogs. I get what I will say. I've always called fire pit hot dogs because, and I don't ask me why I thought they were exclusive, like how they could have been exclusive for fire pits, but every time we had a fire pit, those were the hot dogs my husband bought. So I'm telling all my friends not to worry, I got fire pit hot dogs. They're like, a what now? I'm like, the fire pit hot dogs. They're like, so like hot dogs. I'm like, no, 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 but the ones that are for fire pits. They're like, you're gonna need to explain that. I'm like, the ones that they come in their little sack. They're like, nope, you're gonna need to give us more. I'm like, they're wrapped, so you can't put them on the skewer before you take the plastic off and they're like, yeah, they're just hot dogs.
Yep.
I'm like, but they're fire pit hot dogs. They're like,
No.
says what? I'm like, because we always have them for fire pits. I don't know. I just thought they were like it's the pretty color of blonde. But yeah, so they're big. Like those hot dogs are big. The fact that I ate two and then the two s'mores, along with an entire bag of fucking popcorn.
That is a lot of food.
I'm like, it's gonna hit me at some point. It is not yet. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting because I'm like, normally like I get heartburn or whatever, but I felt great. I woke up and I was like, oh, I had a great night last night. That was so much fun. My husband's like, Jesus Christ. He's like, well, I'm glad you had fun because let me tell you. I'm like, we were talking. I remember quite a few conversations. He's like, you did not share those out loud. I'm like, what? Because I'm like, no, I was asking them questions. He's like, no, not at all. Not a one. You did not. You didn't speak. You just grunted at everybody. I'm like, damn it. Oh, so yeah. So if we party, that's how I party. That's me. Woo! I'm so much fun.
Eating and grunting sounds like
Yup.
a really fun night.
Right? I mean, in my own head, there was so much fun. There's so much shit going on. So, yeah, my poor friends. And it would have been probably not as noticeable, but like not everybody ended up being able to show up. So it was literally just my two friends, me, my husband, and my son. So the amount of wasted I was meant for like a whole backyard full of people. Like, and then we would have like, you get the energy going and stuff, but I guess maybe don't sit down quietly and calmly in front of a fire and expect you to be a good time or expect me to be a good time because I was not. It was quite the evening, but I was satisfied and I slept really well. So.
Cash, do you have any funny edible stories?
God, no. I've been trying to
No?
go and get hockey stuff this weekend. So I have a
Boo.
boring weekend.
I'm just kidding. I'm so mean. God, I'm such a cunt. Oh, I am wearing my cunt socks. Not about me. This is you. This is you. I'm so fucking
Hey, I
bad
have
at
a board-
interrupting.
I would rather your weekend than mine, right? Really.
Oh, I feel like we need to get cash home.
Yeah, but I've done that before and I mixed it with drinking and then I end up drinking 10 times more than I should be and I'm like all over the place.
I feel like that might be fun. I mean, I mixed it with drinking last night. I was fine. I was just very quiet. And the word, okay, is it true or not that like whatever you normally are like, if you add weed to it, it makes you more that way? Is that true?
So what I've heard is that like when you drink and get high and all that, it's just more your true self that you try to hide normally comes out because you don't have that fear of it.
So I try to hide a quiet person inside of me.
Well, you're grunting, so who knows? I heard it. I don't know how true it is though.
Can you imagine there's this quiet person inside of me being like, please just shut up. Just shut up.
Well, I'm the opposite. I'll talk your ear off 10 times over when I have drinks. I don't shut up.
So, okay, here's my thought. For our, let's say, so this is number 32, I think. So for episode 50, we will make it a fun one and we'll all come drunk. What do you think?
All right, let's do it.
I think it'd be fun. I mean, come on, man. Moms like to get drunk. When we
were
don't
just
have to
talking
mom.
about it.
You know what we should do? We should have a camping night and go to my campsite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can hopefully on a hot day sit in the river all day, just get mom wasted and Yeah, I
Yes.
can't do edibles though. I
Why
just,
not? Why not?
oh my God. I think I've told you my story, haven't I?
I don't think
No.
so.
You don't think so? Okay,
I
so my
don't. Do you want it
aunt,
on the podcast?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
My aunt, she's big on making oil.
Okay.
So she gave me a tube of this oil and she's like, take a grain of rice before you go to bed every night. And I mean, this oil that she makes cured her husband's cancer and like she's like, it's just super healthy for you and you'll help you sleep really good. I'm like, okay, right? I'm like, this is awesome. I won't feel nothing because I'll be sleeping. Well, I did a grain of rice, and my husband did a grain of rice, and we don't smoke weed, and we don't do edibles, we don't do anything. I wake up, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying of thirst. I'm like, I
Oh
need a drink.
no.
I need a drink. And I'm like, mwah, 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 right? And I'm like, I'm waking my husband up. I'm like, I need a drink of water, but I can't go down the stairs to get any because I was so fucked up. I was so messed up. And he's like, okay. So then he goes, and it took him like 30 minutes. So he finally, I got my mouth under the tap in the bathroom. I'm like dying of thirst here. And then he finally comes. I'm like, what the hell took you so long? He's like, I couldn't get back up the stairs. I'm like, oh my God. I was so messed up. And then I'm like, then I would go back to sleep and I wake up in the morning and I'm still fucked up. And now I have to make all my kids' lunches for lunch for school
Yeah.
in the morning and I couldn't do it. I was laying on the couch. I thought I was going to have a weed overdose. Like
Oh
I thought I
no.
was dying. I'm like, I can't make their lunches. So my husband, who's high and has never made a lunch in his life, is in the kitchen trying to whip shit together for their lunches. And I'm on the couch. I think I'm dying. I think I'm dying. And he's like, shut up. It was terrible. I've never done it. I'm like, I'm never doing it. That I was so messed up. So
Oh my
messed up.
God.
Never doing it again. So yeah. And I'm just not, I just don't like how thirsty it makes me.
I will say it does make you pretty thirsty. Yeah, it definitely can. I mean,
Mhm.
I was so thirsty, I drank so much Malibu.
Right? And that would be my problem. Like it
Yeah.
just like even like one puff of like I don't smoke weed, but I have in my
Yeah.
life. Just like one puff, and suddenly I'm like, like so thirsty.
Right?
I just can't.
Huh. That's
And then I'm
interesting.
like in the corner rocking back and forth, like, what did I do to myself? Like, I just can't do it. It doesn't have it in me. I'd rather just have a drink. Then I can control how I feel.
See, I feel when I drink, I I have been told multiple times that I am a big pain in the ass when I'm drunk. I don't believe it. I think I'm fun. Apparently, I'm very mean to my husband. I make fun of him all the
Oh,
time. Like
aw.
just making fun of him. But I'm like, that's what we do. That's our thing. He's like, is it? Like, you go a little bit much. I'm like, I've never noticed, so I'm not sure. And then my son is like, you are so annoying because I'm like, let's have fun. And they're very quiet, withdrawn people, and I'm not this girl.
Oh yeah, we should go camping. We would have so much fun. We
Right?
played beer pong.
I
And
love beer
just,
pong.
oh, I love beer pong. It's my most favorite game ever. And just get like white girl wasted. And yeah, I'm fun. I'm a fun drunk. I love partying and having
Nice.
fun. So,
Yeah, I feel like I'm fun. The trick with me, so my English accent comes out when I'm drunk. When you can no longer understand me because my accent is that thick, that's cut off. Don't let me have any more after that.
that's when we put Joanne to bed.
Yeah, I used to ask my kids, I'm like, can you still understand mommy? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, what? Get up another drink. That was, I knew if they're like, what? We can't understand you. I'm like, oh, cut off time. I can't have any more because I have only been blackout drunk one time. And we don't want to do that again because
No.
the poor bride was holding my hair while I was thrown up in the bathroom at her reception. Oops. That was actually not my fault, though. That was, and everyone will agree, thankfully. The bartender thought it was hilarious that I love Sambuca because I love black licorice, and they're like, have another one. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, they thought it was so funny that I was like so wasted. I don't remember getting home. And the wedding was quite far away. So it was like, I'm gonna say an hour, maybe 2 hour drive. I don't remember shit. I don't really remember the bride holding my hair in the bathroom. I just remember saying, "Hey, Tanika." And that's it. And that was the bride's name. So after that, nothing. Nothing at all. And I'm like, huh. Like the next day when I woke up, I feel like shit. My husband's like, yeah, no kidding. And so he's telling, I'm like, how did we even get home? He's like, oh, bitch, you were in trouble. And I'm like, oh no. And I felt really bad because I mean, obviously, no one should wreck someone's wedding. Not that I wrecked the wedding, it was the end of the night, whatever. But like, that should not happen. Brides should never have to hold their guest's hair back. It should be the other way. Yeah, that's a pretty picture of me. Everyone's welcome. I think the problem, I don't drink often. Like I really just don't drink very much. And so when I do, I'm like it can be one sip and I could be done. It could
Yeah.
be like three drinks and I'm still fine. Like there's just
I'm the
no,
same way. I'm the same way. I
yeah,
don't drink often, but sometimes it can take one and sometimes it can take like five, right? And
right? And you don't know until it
weird.
hits you. And then you're
Yeah.
like, I feel great.
Yeah.
And then I have an allergy to it, so I can't drink very often to begin with.
What?
What is it you're allergic to?
Something to do with the alcohol.
Like all different kinds of alcohol?
More
Or
the
just
harder,
vodka?
more the
I'm
harder
allergic to
stuff.
vodka. So maybe it's like something in one particular hard stuff.
Yeah, because vodka seemed to be okay because I was doing cranberry vodkas at the wedding and I
Okay.
wasn't reacting to it. But I went out with my sister once for supper and I had what their concoction of like the strawberry daiquiri.
Okay.
And I like went straight. My voice lost. I was blotching everywhere. It was brutal.
Huh.
So whatever was in that, I was just reacting within like 2 sips
Okay.
of it.
So when we're camping, you need to make your own drink.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, nobody take anything that I mix because fuck
Oh,
no.
hell no.
No.
I mean, it'll be a fun party. We all get to wait and see. You get to wait and see how drunk you get. How bad was your mix? I don't know. We'll find out. So that's it for Moms on Mics this week.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Moms on Mics Podcast, on TikTok at Moms on Mics, and join our Facebook group, Moms on Mics.
If anyone has any topics you want us to cover, or if you have any questions or suggestions, you can email us at momsonmics@gmail.com or submit through our website, momsonmics.com.
We would also appreciate it if you could rate and review us on whatever platform you're listening on. It really helps the podcast move up on their charts so it gets more exposure. Hope you join us again next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.